In Washington, special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian meddling in the 2016 election seems to be heating up.
One of President Trump's lawyers tells CBS News former National Security Advisor Mike Flynn may be arranging a plea deal with investigators after Flynn's lawyers cut off communication with the president's legal team. Errol Barnett reports.
General Flynn is a wonderful man. I think he's been treated very, very unfairly by the media.
Despite the president's praising, CBS News has learned Mr. Trump's legal team has been expecting either an indictment of Michael Flynn or his son, or a plea deal involving both, stemming from special counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation.
Mike Flynn is a fine person, and I asked for his resignation.
Mr. Trump fired Flynn from his post as National Security Advisor just 3 weeks after becoming president. As reports surface, he misled the vice president about his contacts with Russia.
I fired him because of what he said to Mike Pence. Very simple.
Sources tell CBS News Flynn's attorney, Robert Kellner, told the president's legal team on Wednesday that no future communications could or would occur regarding Flynn. Mr. Trump's attorney, Jay Sekulow, said the silence likely means Flynn took a plea deal. He went on to tell CBS News, if it is a plea, that doesn't necessarily mean it has anything to do with the president. The attorneys for Flynn and Flynn Jr. replied with no comment. On Thanksgiving, at a Coast Guard station near his South Florida club, President Trump handed out turkey sandwiches with First Lady Melania Trump.
The press, I know, doesn't have any questions. If you do, we won't take them, but that's all right.
He refused questions from the press and used the event to brag about his administration's accomplishments.
The stock market on Friday hit the all-time high, the highest it's ever been.
And Errol Barnett is traveling with the president. He joins us now from West Palm Beach, Florida. Errol, the president played what he called a quick game of golf with Tiger Woods this morning. On Wednesday, though, he had a press officer issue a correction after she said he was having a low-key day. So let's clear this up. Is it a working Thanksgiving weekend for the president, or is it a low-key day?
Good question, Tony. Well, look, any place a president of the United States goes, they will be required to work, make calls, make decisions, answer the phone. So, yes, this and any vacation a president goes on is a working one. But this White House specifically has been consistently coy in confirming that President Trump actually plays golf when he goes to any one of his various golf properties on the weekend, whether it's here in South Florida, in New Jersey, or outside Washington in Northern Virginia. And there are a few reasons for that. President Trump, as a private citizen, was one of the most vocal critics of his predecessor, Barack Obama, when he played golf. Over a 5-year span, Donald Trump tweeted some kind of criticism about Barack Obama playing golf more than 24 times. There's also the issue of a potential conflict of interest. Today, for example, President Trump is playing golf with Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is designing a golf course for a Trump property in the United Arab Emirates. Are they discussing that property? Is this something that President Trump will personally benefit from? We don't know because we're not there, and the White House isn't confirming information to us. So that's another area in which this Trump playing golf on the weekend seems to be a very sensitive topic for this White House.
Well, Errol, let's go back to Mike Flynn. Now, the White House says that they're unconcerned about possible cooperation between Flynn and special counsel. But specifically, what kind of information could they potentially be looking to get from the former National Security Advisor?
Well, Paula, as you well know, what Robert Mueller is looking for from General Mike Flynn is his testimony, evidence that he doesn't already have. What does he know about the firing of FBI Director James Comey? Remember, this happened, the president says, because of the Russia investigation. At that time, it was known that General Mike Flynn was being looked into because he misled the vice president about his own contacts with the Russian ambassador. Why was that? Mueller will be interested to know. And also, if we just step back and look at the bigger picture, as far as who has been in Robert Mueller's crosshairs by now, you have Paul Manafort and his business associate Rick Gates, who were charged with financial crimes which preceded the campaign. Experts say that's a strategy. That's an easily provable case because it has a paper trail to get them under oath and to get their testimony about what they know. You have George Papadopoulos, who was a campaign aide. Now the timeline moves forward, and he acknowledged that he misled the FBI about his own contacts with Russia. Why was that? So the fact that General Mike Flynn's legal team is now cutting off contact with the president's personal legal team shows that he's cooperating. So that testimony, that under oath testimony, is something Mueller will be able to string together to build his case.
So speaking of timelines, we know Mueller is preparing to speak with White House officials, notably Communications Director Hope Hicks. That's happening next week. Given that timeline, do we have any sense of what happens next in the investigation beyond those interviews?
We really don't, Tony, and that's because Special Counsel Mueller has been playing with his cards close to his chest. You know, as good as the entire CBS justice team is and all the journalists in Washington who are chasing this story, we really don't get confirmed information until the Special Counsel files his charges and we can pull through the paperwork. So far, he's been building this case from the ground up. So everything from now on will depend on all of that testimony. How vocal will General Michael Flynn be? How vocal will Paul Manafort, Rick Gates, and George Papadopoulos be in stringing this case together? And how does that evidence help prove or disprove the case that Special Counsel Mueller is charging? Can he bring a case of obstruction of justice against the president? Can he prove that there was some type of collusion between Trump campaign associates and Russia? It really depends not just on the emails that may be leaked, but the testimony of these people who have now been charged or who are now in the crosshairs. So we could be looking at another few weeks or another few months until the next big break in this case.
All right, Errol Barnett for us, leaving the heavy coat in Washington, D.C. to travel with the president to West Palm Beach. Errol, thank you very much.
Yeah.